Intentionally caring for myself and loving myself completely shifted my entire life. Not only did it reverse my aging and I felt and looked actually so much younger than I was, but I was just so much lighter. In today's video, we're going to talk about what self-love is and how to actually apply it in your daily life.
What even is self love? I feel like self love has been a buzzword for the last few years that I've noticed. It's kind of like really cranked up online. And I think that a lot of people get it kind of mixed up with self care, like self love and self care. While those two can go like together, like a face mask isn't going to eradicate your self hatred.
That is 100% true. There are no amount of bubble baths that you can take
Mhm.
to, I guess, like really love yourself. I think that what you're trying to say too is like if you love yourself, of course you take care of yourself.
Mhm.
But just because you're taking the bubble bath and you're doing the face mask or whatever it is doesn't mean that you're actually like loving on yourself.
Right. You're not getting to the root of like, oh, I can't look in the mirror. Like, I can't really stare at myself in the mirror for too long. So, like, you're not going deeper than that. You're just kind of like, okay, I'm just going to walk past and then I'm going to put this face mask on, or I'm going to do some sort of skin routine and like ignore that piece of what's going on inside of me. So, I want you to right now, like, what is the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the words self love? Like, what does that mean to you? Because we can give our own definitions of what self love is, but it may be different for everybody else.
Yeah, let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear. So, this is obviously all from our perspective, and that's what we have to go by our
Mhm.
perspective. And then also, like our client's perspective, because obviously we help people, love themselves more.
For me, self love is seeing all the other versions of myself and loving each of them exactly where they are at and continuing to choose myself in the present moment and making choices that I wasn't making in the past as those past versions. Like I'm continuously going deeper and deeper inward and healing and unraveling and tracing back, doing like inner child work, like figuring out how I can love myself better each and every day, like just getting to the root of things, like kind of like reparenting yourself in a way. Like there's so many things that I could go into, but I think one of like the I think the greatest act of self love thus far, or at least it was the catalyst, was when I decided to be sober and not drink anymore. Like that was, I feel like the defining moment for me where it was like, oh, if I can do this, then I can do this, and I can do this and this and this, and it just kept going.
Self love is really just knowing and believing and feeling that you are worthy and deserving of the best without any sort of like guilt. And it's not like a vanity thing, it's not like a cocky thing, like you're better than everyone else. It's like, no,
Mhm.
I'm worthy and deserving, and so is the person next to me. Next, we're going to be talking about how to actually apply self love in your life. So, like, we've defined it, we've defined what it isn't, and like, okay, it's like, great, that's awesome. You feel worthy and deserving, you're choosing yourself, you're loving the past versions of you, check, check, check. But like, how do you actually do all of that? What does that look like in your daily life? How do we apply it? We've
Mm.
got you because we've done this before.
So we're going to rewind a little bit, and we think it would be really helpful to hear our stories. So we're going to talk about how B went from self-hatred to actually loving herself and like what that looked like every step of the way. So, what was the defining moment for you where you were like, enough is enough, like I can't continue like hating myself like this?
I had really stopped hating myself. I feel like when I had gotten sober years prior to my like very intentional self-love journey, but I still wasn't like loving myself. I still wasn't choosing myself. Even after I had gotten sober, I was putting everyone else above myself. I was totally burnt out, saying yes to everything, even when it was a total no,
Mm.
people pleasing left and right, front and center. Like I was not who I am today at all. And I feel like the catalyst was a trip that I took to Costa Rica. I was planting trees there. I freaking love planting trees. And I just was around really amazing, like spiritual people that it was like a breath of fresh air. Like
Mhm.
I was coming from a place that, like, I had community, but it wasn't necessarily the community like I would have chosen. It was like all my past partners, like friends and like energies that like I wasn't really vibing with, but I kind of just like stayed in it because, that part of me was just asleep. So going to Costa Rica like totally changed my perspective. Like people were doing like different embodiment practices and they were talking about like, I don't know, like really cool things like that I was really interested in, like,
Mhm.
different schools, like kids learning outside and being in the jungle rather than like being in the classroom. And it just opened up this new layer for me. And I really resonated with this one particular embodiment practice called quantum flow. It's like a moving manifestation that you do with your body. It's like a mix of like breath work and movement. And it really like clears your stored trauma and memories in your body so that you can just totally align with your highest self. It literally changed my life. So just doing it for like 2 minutes at the retreat and the tree planting, like really inspired me to like go deeper with that. So once I
Mhm.
got back to New York, that's where I was living at the time, then I like signed up for the class and I took it and it like changed everything.
So, when you got back to New York and you were practicing quantum flow, like how did that start shifting like your reality? Like what did that look like for you?
Yeah. So I am a big believer that like when you shift your internal world, your external world shifts to match that. So that's what I was doing. Like once I got into that class, I was practicing quantum flow every day. So I had a daily practice. And that was like my saving grace. Oh my God. Like I looked forward to every day when I would get on that class and like practice it. Like I'm always going to be a student. I love to learn. So, like,
Mhm.
that portion I really love, but also like the experiential part of it and like actually practicing the movements and like getting into my body and feeling my breath and like I'm dancing. Like, there's so many different components to quantum flow that make it the beautiful modality that it is. But, like, hello, you can insert anything here. You can insert
Mhm.
breath work, you can insert meditation, you can insert like creating boundaries, like whatever that like self-love practice is for you that you can do on a daily basis,
Mhm.
like that's the number one thing I would recommend to people that really want to create a shift in their lives. So
Mhm.
that's what exactly happened for me when I was creating this shift. Oh my God, like I remember there's 7 stages to quantum flow, and that's, the embodiment practice that I did, but you don't have to do that one. You can do
Mhm.
whatever it is that feels good for you. But I was doing that one, and I got to the fifth stage. And the fifth stage is all about flow, it's all about freedom. And I remember that's the stage that I kind of got stuck on, but I wasn't stuck, I was integrating. And
Mhm.
once I was like practicing that consistently, then things started to shift. And then I found out I just got like a nudge. And the other thing about quantum flow is like you get more in touch with your intuition. So I got a
Mhm.
nudge like check his phone, check his phone. So I went into my ex's phone and what did I find? Like, yeah, he is cheating on me.
Mhm.
So so that's when everything really started to shift and it was like be a couple years ago would have stayed in that because that's what happened. Like a couple
Mhm.
years or maybe like a year prior,
Mhm.
same thing happened, stayed with him. This
Mhm.
time I was like, "Oh, I can't tolerate this anymore." Like, oh, so that was like a big act of self-love.
Mhm.
I can't tolerate this anymore. I can't stay in this relationship anymore. And then it was
Mhm.
just a domino effect from there.
Right. So you feel like quantum flow kind of shifted your like self-worth, which inherently shifts your self-love,
A
like how you feel about
hundred
yourself. So it was kind
percent.
of like, yeah, like I can't tolerate this anymore. I've got to go. Like how did that feel for you?
It felt really scary.
Mhm.
It felt really scary because my teacher had even said, he said in Costa Rica, and he also said, like throughout the training,
Mhm.
it was like, you're gonna notice
Mhm.
that you're not gonna tolerate certain things that you used to tolerate. And I remember hearing it and being like,
Mhm.
And then I
Yeah.
all came back to me and I was like,
Mhm.
oh, this is what he was talking about. Like, I'm not tolerating this anymore. And
Mhm.
it sounds really great, like in theory, like when we're talking about it, like, yeah, empowering. But in the moment, it is scary because it was unknown territory for me. I had been with people that had cheated on me. I stayed with them. Like, I let people walk all over me. I was not nice to people. So, like, I was just going into like the unknown.
Mm.
But it was the best thing I could have ever done.
Right. And in our thumbnail, you'll see her before and after through this. And like, guys, I just want to say it's crazy what a year of just putting time and energy and love back into yourself will do for you. And my name is Jessy, by the way.
My name is B.
And if you like this video so far, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe. It truly helps our channel, and we want to help you as well by putting out these videos. So you shifted into this new level of self-love and self-worth and this feeling of like, I can't tolerate this anymore. So like, what did that look like? Like, what action steps came after you finding out what was going on behind the scenes?
Yeah. That's the interesting thing when you do the internal work and your external world shifts. It's not that
Mhm.
you don't have to do anything in the 3D, but like you don't have to do much. You know, like
Mhm.
I got that nudge to check his phone. Then it was like, okay. So I made the decision to not be with him anymore. I was obviously living with him at the time. So I had to stay in that for a couple of months. But then, like, I just started, talking to my friends, obviously, about what was going on, and like it was very apparent, like I can't live with him anymore.
Mhm.
I can't stay here anymore. So I started looking at like different spaces to live in New York. Nothing felt right, like my intuition was very much telling me this is a no. And I was listening to my intuition because I'm like, okay, like I have a little bit of a track record of, okay, it's like steering me in the right direction. So I'm like starting to trust this, starting to build this. It just so happened that my friend's dad like had a condo in Florida at the time, and that just felt right. I had only been to Florida like once before. I had never been
Mhm.
to that area, and it just felt lighter in my body. And so I was like, I had nothing to lose,
Mhm.
Like I don't know if you've ever been like through a separation or divorce or breakup, and you're just kind of at that point where you're like, I don't even know which way is up or down. My whole entire life is shifting. I was a free bird. Like, where do I go? Like, I was kind of just like, F it. Like, I have
Mhm.
nothing to lose. Why wouldn't I go be in the sun instead
Mhm.
of being in Syracuse, New York for the past like 8 years that I had been there? So, Tampa was where I was headed. I had to leave my business with him as well. That was like another loss, a big shift for me. It was like his business, but then I got involved. It was kind of messy, but it was for the best. Like thank God.
Mhm.
And my cat also died like right before. So that was like, she was sending me a big message. She got like oral cancer. And that I know was a message for me to like speak up, use your voice, like connect with your truth. So thank you, Callie. I love you so much for like sending me that message. But that was like super painful. But that was another reason for me to just kind of like go. Like I'm not
Mhm.
tied down.
Florida. You had the plan, it felt right. You took the leap. Like, what came next?
Obviously, like when you're going through this process and like you're like, okay, like I love myself, I'm not tolerating certain things that I used to tolerate. That's all great and dandy, but it's still very uncomfortable. At least it was for me. Like it's not
Mhm.
like it's all beautiful like unicorns and rainbows like once you like love yourself. Like no, like
Mhm.
stuff is still scary and you're headed into the unknown if you've never been in this territory before. So, I went to Tampa. It was really lonely at first.
Mhm.
It was really foreign. I had a lot of anxiety come up because I also, have like a pretty heavy trauma history. At that point, I had not really dealt with too much of the processing of it, especially of the traumas that happened with that past partner. So
Mhm.
I just had like a lot of anxiety come up. I was cocooning at the time. Like, to be honest, it was really hard because my anxiety had gotten so bad that like I
Mhm.
remember I couldn't even go into the grocery store at the time. Like there was a Whole Foods like 5 minutes away from the condo, and like there came a point where I just had to like do pickup only.
Mm-hmm.
And so they could just like, put the groceries in my car. Even that, I was very anxious, but at least I wouldn't have to go into the store. So
Mm-hmm.
like it's okay if like these things come up. Like it's all temporary. Like I can go to the grocery store now by myself. I'm totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a temporary thing. So a lot of healing honestly happened.
Mm-hmm.
A lot more healing. It's like, oh, once you get to that first sort of level and you're like noticing, oh my God, like things are shifting in my world, like it doesn't mean it's like done,
Right. And
like
healing
there's,
is messy.
oh my God.
Healing is so messy. I think
Yeah.
there's kind of like this veil that people like put over it, and they're like, oh, it's wonderful and mysterious
Yeah.
and mystical and beautiful, but it's like,
Mm-mm.
no, it's ugly and it's messy and
Yeah.
it's like insane and it's chaotic. And yes, on the other side of all of that chaos and like craziness, yes, it's beautiful, but the healing itself is really messy.
Yeah. It really is.
Really is. You're ugly crying, like you don't even know why
Yep.
sometimes. It just, yeah, it's like all about just riding every wave as it comes
Yeah.
and just like feeling it. I know that sounds really cliche to
No, but it's
say,
true.
but like it's just feeling it and like being uncomfortable while you're feeling it and just like getting comfortable being really uncomfortable. And I
Yeah.
know that's like on t-shirts and stuff, but like it's true. Like that is it's so true.
Yeah, I mean, and that is what I did. And that's why I was feeling all this anxiety, all this depression. It's not that I was like clinically depressed or generalized anxiety, even though I've had those in the past, but like
Mhm.
it wasn't like that. It was just my healing process. We don't need to pathologize it. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, you're going to be sad. You're going to feel anxious. Like everything has shifted in your world. You need time to process. Your mind is like, oh my God. And I was also in survival mode. Like I just had to get out. I'm so shocked, to be honest, that like I got out as clean as I did
Mhm.
from my past partner, because that was a really scary, abusive, like narcissistic abuse situation. So like I just had so many angels on my side and I was in survival. So when I went
Mhm.
to Florida, it was like I was totally safe. I was fine. Everything was good. And that was kind of like weird. I think when you go from like being in survival and fight or flight and not feeling safe ever, and then you go to safety, it's like, oh my God, is this even okay? You feel
Mhm.
weird about that too.
Even when we first started dating, both of us had, past partners that were really, it was traumatic. It was a traumatic relationship. And I think that we were both kind of like, it's not boring. We're just like feeling peaceful and safe and like, yeah, like, but there was just kind of like these moments where we were on edge and kind of like waiting for the hat to drop, like, okay, what's gonna happen? What are you gonna do to me? Are you lying to me?
Yeah.
What's gonna come out? And then like, nothing.
And here we
So, and here
are.
we are.
Yeah, that's the other cool thing. Like when I got to Florida, it was a couple months I was going through like really heavy emotions, and then that kind of started to like level out,
Mm-hmm.
and I just felt a really deep call to like like it was quantum flow, but then like also some other, practices, because I had so much more time on my hands. And I started doing these mirror affirmations, and that's super powerful. Mirror work, I like it. That again changed my life. I did a 30-day self-love challenge, and within the first 2 weeks I met Jess. And I was not looking for a soulmate. I wasn't looking for a partner, to be honest. Like the only reason I even went out on a date was that my tarot card reader at the time said like spirit wants you to date. So I'm like, okay, like I'm gonna listen to spirit.
Well, and the craziest thing too is like I went to a tarot reading for the first time ever, and basically he told me that someone was coming into my life, that it was going to be so synchronistic, like you've been in these relationships where it's been like 80-20 or like 100 and 0, and like this person's gonna fill you, like your both of your cups are gonna be overflowing. And like it was crazy the timing of when your tarot reader
Yeah.
said what they said and then mine, and then we came together and then it all unfolded.
I've told some of my story, and I'm sure you've gotten some pings, some ideas, some inspiration on like maybe how you can apply this to your life. The moral of the story is practice some sort of like daily routine, some sort of daily practice like meditation, breath work, quantum flow, setting boundaries, journaling, whatever that is. Get creative, like art. It could even be exercise, like whatever that is to you that really gets you into your body and like shifting something internally. Practice that for like an extended period of time. You can't just do it for like a couple days and like expect a really big shift. But honestly, I was just practicing quantum flow for a couple of months, and then I started to notice these really big shifts that happened. I think it was like 4 months. And then I
Mm.
continued with that, and even more shifts happened. So stick with it, practice, and it doesn't have to be long. It could be like for a couple minutes every day, but watch how things shift in your external. And it doesn't have to be as crazy, drastic, extreme as my world. Like that's just showing you like and me how out of alignment I was, and that's fine. There's no judgment, but maybe it's just like small things that really do make a big shift in your world. So let us know what it is that you're going to be practicing or that you're already practicing every day as a form of self-love.
And if you like this video, make sure you like it, guys. Hit the subscribe button, comment. We'd love to connect with you. And as
Take
always,
what you need, leave the rest, and go love yourself.